Starting with the late 14th century, an even more deprived social category emerged, made up of people who had no land, no houses, and no freedom of movement. In a word, slaves. These were the Gypsies, in Romanian called Țigani. We can trace their exodus back hundreds of years and thousands of kilometers away. They were originally a tribe from northwest India who could no longer bear the caste regime they had been subjected to by the upper classes. They were probably part of the pariah castes, which members of the superior castes were not even supposed to touch. Coincidentally, or perhaps not, their name appears as ațigani in our earliest documents, a word which was probably derived from the Greek verb atingani, which meant untouchables. The Gypsies wandered through the Middle East, expelled from one place to another, fighting the Persians and the Turks until they reached Europe and the Byzantine Empire after being driven out of Asia Minor by the Ottomans. They did not get a respite there either. By the 14th century, the empire had been reduced to continental Greece and a strip of land roughly corresponding to modern European Turkey and southern Bulgaria, a region that was actually called Romania, as the Byzantine, professing to be the successors of the Roman Empire for thousands of years, called themselves Romni. It was from their stay in Romania that the Gypsies got their name of Romani. They arrived in our country in small groups, and as they crossed the Danube, our boyars and voivodes, who always needed more laborers, promptly enslaved them. They became slaves without any rights and were scattered across the boyars' estates, doing all sorts of household chores and trades. Others were given to monasteries, while the luckiest few became slaves to the voivodes, looking for gold in rivers, among other things. These became known as the aurari, from the Romanian word aur, in English meaning gold. Boyars allowed some of their gypsies to roam the land freely and perform their trades, as they were extremely adept at metalworking. They were only supposed to return to their masters once a year to be counted and arrange marriages. Small groups of free gypsies survived for centuries in the thickest woods, but were so desperately poor and primitive that they were called netoți, which means fools. In Moldavia, Tatar slaves built their settlements close to gypsy villages and sometimes mixed with them, so that over time only physical appearances set them apart.